Yo pals, it's Fernand here for the LensPal. Today we're going to be going over the setup for the Philip bloom slider from Kessler, the Kessler Parallax, and the Kessler ElektraDRIVE bundle. The slider can be used by itself or in conjunction with both the Parallax and ElektraDRIVE unit. The Philip bloom slider comes with all-terrain trigger feet, a flat mount adapter, and an Allen key with 4 screws and a carrying bag. First thing you do is open up the all-terrain feet and attach the feet to the bottom of the slider. The feet have their own screws, so just twist and attach them to the bottom left and right of the slider. Now take the flat mount adapter and attach it to your slider. Then attach a video head to the top of the flat mount adapter. Once that is complete, place your quick release plate onto the camera and then your camera onto the video head. So now moving on to how to use the Philip bloom slider. On one side we have the resistance component. Loosen this to increase the speed of which you can go side to side. Tying it back up to have a slower pan speed. Tying it all the way up to lock the slider in place. On the opposite side we have a handle to control the speed. Of course you can also use your hand with the video head to control the speed itself. Now let's say you want to put the slider onto a tripod. First thing you need to do is get a quick release plate from the tripod you're using. The plate is going to screw onto the bottom middle of the slider. Lastly, you place your slider similar to how you would slide a camera onto a tripod and then lock it into place. Moving on to the Kessler Parallax. The Parallax includes an Allen key, 4 screws, a Parallax pulley, and a Parallax folding bar. To start off, there's 3 parts you need to screw on to attach it to the slider. One in the middle, and the other 2 are in the right and left, located where we first mounted the trigger feet. Find the 3 places where the screws go. Start with the middle screw first and then work your way to the others on the outside on the left and right. Take off the flat mount adapter, then follow up by sliding the Parallax pulley from one side of the Parallax bar to the middle and screw it onto the plate of the Philip bloom slider. Your video head will go onto the Parallax pulley with your camera. Move the camera to one side of the Parallax bar and slider. Make sure your camera is facing forward, then unlock the latch of the Parallax bar and move the bar closer to the slider. The camera will start to pan on its own. This is totally normal, and this is why it's also important to make sure that the camera is facing forward before you unlock the latches. Move it up to the opposite side and then continue to do the exact same thing. Once you complete it, you can move it back and forth from one side of the slider to the other and the camera will pan on its own naturally, giving you a nice smooth pan. Now here you can see me moving it back and forth with the focus point being the 5D that I used to record this video. And once we get to the middle, the camera is facing straight forward. Lastly but not least, we have the ElektraDRIVE bundle. This kit includes a joystick controller, an ion battery in case you're out in the middle of nowhere with no wall outlet, an AC adapter, an AC cable, a motor along with a pulley that connects to your slider, a V12 cable for the battery, motor mount, Ethernet cable for your controller, 2 mounting screws and an Allen key, and a battery wall charger. Start by completely unscrewing the resistance component from the slider. You're going to remove the rubber top piece along with the red metal piece and a small spring inside. It's important to keep them safe because you need them in order to put the slider back together. Take your motor mount and place it where your resistance used to be. Screw it into place, then take the pulley from the motor and place it on top of the mount, followed by the motor itself. Place the rubber band on the motor around the pulley and use the screws to lock the motor in place. I tend to place the rubber piece from the resistance on top of it just so I don't lose it for safekeeping. You're going to take the other end of your AC adapter or V12 cable and plug it into the controller. When the controller detects power, it'll instantly turn itself on. Take the Ethernet cable and plug one into the controller and the other end will go into this Ethernet splitter. It doesn't matter which input of the splitter you use. Take the Ethernet cable from the motor and connect that to the splitter too. Now you're ready to use the ElektraDRIVE with the Philip bloom slider. Let's say you're not in a studio environment with a wall outlet nearby. That's where the battery comes in, and it plugs in with a 12-volt cable. The Parallax can be used with this setup just by screwing it onto the bottom of the Philip bloom slider. To use it on a tripod, screw the quick release plate to the center bracket of the Parallax. So in conclusion pals, all 3 pieces of equipment are top of the line. The Philip bloom slider can work by itself or in conjunction with the Parallax and ElektraDRIVE bundle. I've showed you how to set up all three and how to use them together. All of this gear is available for rental from us here at the LensPal at www.thelenspal.com.